was going to ask you the very generic question of like, hey, do you think you'll play this game? But I realize that when it comes to you and I, we play a lot of games, so there's a high likelihood that you'll play the game.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to really ask, now that I think about it, is Arc Raiders was in both of our top 10s last year.
Yeah.
What is the chance that Marathon is in your top 10 games at the end of the year?
Oh, I don't want to say it like definitively, but it seems unlikely. At least with Arc Raiders, it was something I had watched stream when it was doing early previews.
Yeah.
And it strikes me as a different game. Like it's unique and it's not even, it's just unique to me. I'm sure there are games out there that other people play that are similar, but I feel like all those games seem to be more of like a slog or like things that are out of my interest and Marathon's like right on the cusp, right, of my interests. Right. But it seems like it's not. I watched that trailer, man. I don't know that it's doing anything I haven't done before. Maybe it is and I don't see it in the trailers, but it looks very it looks like a regular shooter, not shooter, but like, like extraction or squad based shooter, but I don't really love the art style. I think it looks very like sleek, but not necessarily in a good way, like kind of in a boring way.
Oh,
like okay. Everything's like flat level areas and stuff. And
yeah.
And I that can be fine because it seems to be like the aesthetic, right, for the game.
Sure.
But I don't know.
Interesting.
What are you thinking about
I
it?
like the art direction of it. I think it's interesting. I don't know that it's I do think it's divisive. I think, the choices that they've made as far as art direction goes is going to work really well for some people and absolutely turn other people off for sure.
Yeah.
I would agree there. But, I enjoy Arc Raiders a lot. But the one complaint I've always had about Arc Raiders is that I never felt the shooting felt very good.
Yeah.
And if there is a studio that does incredible shooting in games,
it's Bungie.
I mean, Bungie's up there, right? So I think there's a chance that if we play enough of it, that this game could be in my top 10. But it really is going to come down to, is this like 2 weeks of us playing Marathon?
Yeah.
Or is this like 2 months of us playing Marathon?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it could be great. It really could. I won't say that it won't be, but yeah, I'm curious what it's going to play like. I wish they did did they do a beta and I just didn't see it?
They have done betas and alphas. They've mostly been closed, if I recall, and I could be wrong about that, but I do feel that they have been mostly closed betas and things that they've been going through, because a lot of footage from those has leaked. A lot of feedback that people got from that has come out, and it does seem like the concerns people had after the initial alphas and betas over the last summer, but that caused it to get delayed, it does seem like they've addressed most of the major concerns people had, right? Prox chat is in, the loop feels better. Like they've done a lot of things to improve on what, the game would have been had it released in September.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful that means it's going to be good. Obviously, who knows? But I think there's a chance.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I'm not saying that there isn't a chance. So I'm not like down on it really, but I'm curious.
Is this are you like immediately like day one that is out gonna play, or is this like you'll get to it when you feel like getting to it?
Oh, I don't know. I guess it would depend on what's around that time period.
Yeah,
I mean, it's only $40, right, when it comes out. So
it is only $40. And I'm trying to think, right before will obviously be Resident Evil Requiem at the end of February.
Yeah.
I can't remember off the top of my head what's early March other than Marathon. I'm sure something is, but
yeah, I don't know. I'll be curious to see.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we'll see if Josh and I are jumping into Marathon and extracting with loot or not, and actually killing people or not, because who knows. But hey, listener, welcome to Port of the Video Games. I'm Kyle. That's Josh, and we're thrilled you're joining us. You sound like I sound, Josh.
Coughing.
It's okay.
It's killing me. I've had this cough for like 2 months now, and it's just not going away.
Yeah,
it's the worst.
You have a cough. I am pretty sick. But hey, we're gonna record a podcast, and so I apologize ahead of time for any coughs or sneezes or other unhealthy sounds that come through the mic. The nice thing about it just being recorded, though, is that we can't get any of our listeners sick, at least.
Yeah, and I don't apologize for anything that comes out of Kyle or my mouth. So now we're balanced.
Okay, perfect. As always, listeners, if you have any feedback, questions, or suggested topics, hit us up at Board with VG on Gmail, or check out the awesome stuff over on the Instagram, where we also are Board with VG. We are part of the Play Some Video Games podcast family, as well as the Dice Store networks. So feel free to check out all of your video game and tabletop needs, respectively, at those two places. As always, with the new format, Josh and I have each brought a couple things to chat about, and then kind of one final boss. So, Josh, what is your first action? What's the first thing you want to cover this evening?
Well, I feel I feel like I should say this now, just in case I lose power. I might lose power. We're in the middle of this super giant storm, so I don't know
Yeah,
what's gonna happen. We got
yeah.
about a foot so
We
far.
just got really cold.
Yeah, we got really cold too. It was negative 23 wind chill yesterday, which is probably
Okay.
it's a walk in the park for you guys. I know.
No, that's cold. I mean, that is just
Yeah,
that's straight up cold. Yeah,
it's
we
very
were
cold.
we were pushing negative 40, but like with the wind
Yeah,
chill.
yeah.
But
So yeah,
negative 23 is nothing to shake a stick at. I mean, that is still cold. So
yeah, yeah. So yeah, we got about a foot so far. We have another foot to go by the end of day tomorrow. So
jeez,
2 feet coming in hot. So exciting.
2 foot.
No big deal.
Get your
We haven't had snow in like 7 years, and all of a sudden now it's like, here's a couple small storms, and then here you go. Here's two
Has it
feet.
really been that long since you had snow?
Yeah, I mean our weather has been great for like the past 5 to 7 years. We have had like almost no winters for at least 5 years. It's
Yeah,
very
we've
weird.
definitely gotten snow, but not never. We got snow this year too, but that's not. We haven't had a ton of it yet. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think this year was the first year we got more than like um 6 inches on one storm. So all the years like from this current year put to pandemic, we have got like no snow. It's
hey,
nice here.
okay.
It's been in like the 70s in November. It's been getting good. Got to thank global warming for that.
We have
Uh,
had a few days like that.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, I was really kind of struggling to decide what I wanted to talk about. I went back and forth on a few things. I almost really wanted to talk about Upper Deck getting the Harry Potter
Yeah.
license and what that looked like. Which I know we've talked about this a few times, so I figured maybe we could save it. But we always talk about like where do we fall on art versus artist versus all these things.
Yeah.
So
Well, as a brief aside to that, it is interesting that the Tabletop Game Designers Association urged them to like not
yeah,
make a game.
plead,
That's super
plead.
interesting.
But then they urged them, but then also like issued like blatant like threats of like we will not like you better do this. We like oh my god. Okay,
Yeah.
guys. They're not the bad guys. You can address your well, whatever. We should have had that conversation because I'm so curious. But instead, I decided to go based off another conversation we have had, and I really what was thinking about doing was just like in the past we've like just opened up like Kickstarter and talked about the stuff that's on right now and do we have any interest, but
Yeah.
really because we're at the end of January and numbers start coming out, I was looking a little bit deeper into Gamefound, and at least on Gamefound's main page they post their financial stuff, and Kickstarter it's a little
Hmm.
harder to find if it's even out yet. I didn't find
Yeah.
it. But I just thought we could talk about this briefly, and this is a post from Gamefound on Gamefound, uh, titled "Look Ahead," saying "GameFound #1 tabletop platform?" And the 2025 summary. It starts by saying, "Yeah, it's their time for their yearly summary of things that happened." Um, as it was a roller coaster ride for both them and the whole industry. They do have a bunch of data we can look at, and I know it's easier to look at than talk about, but in 2025, GameFound continues to develop as a great place for tabletop games for community and creators. They had over, I want to make sure I get that number right. It's 189,708,345 US dollars of total tabletop crowdfunding. That's a 19% growth for Gamefound.
Dang.
Um, that's for something we talked about with like tariffs and Kickstarter and the board game
Mm-hmm.
industry. I think that's a pretty like staggering number for them,
Yeah.
um, and for what we were considering. But I didn't mean to cut this part out. But as they were debating on if they are the number one, basically their answer is the short and slightly anticlimactic answer is probably. Based on public available data and reasonable estimates, it does seem like GameFund is now the number one crowdfunding platform. But they do go on to say we can't say this with 100% certainty, though, as not all of the crowdfunding platforms are as public with some of their data, and post crowdfunding volume is harder to estimate. So while the data does seem to show that GameFund is now number one, uh, we like to be 100% certain that we share any stats or data regarding Gamefound, um, that it will be as accurate as possible. So we do have that. So they
Yeah.
don't have Kickstarter's numbers in here, but we do see they're just shy of $200 million last year for board games. In 9 out of the top 10 tabletop, why does it say okay? So 9 out of the 10 biggest tabletop campaigns were on Gamefound.
Mm-hmm.
And those games start well, so we can do from one down. Number one was The Witcher Legacy, which pulled in 12 million. And then number two is Agricola Special Edition, followed by Don't Starve, the board game. Ark Nova Third Edition, BELOW, the Asylum. El-
Below.
Below, The Elder Scrolls Heroes of Tamriel, Berserk, the board game, which I really wish I knew about. I'm gonna have to look at this now in the new tab. This War of Mine Second Edition, Dragon Eclipse, the Grand Quest, and Massive Darkness Dungeons of Shadowreach. The lowest out of those 10 was still $2.85 million.
Yeah.
So they really increased, and you'll see here because they have their total page views rose by 62% year over year, with a unique visitor percentage of 106%
Yeah.
rise, not total rise. So they say we have over 1.7 million users, uh, and that's plus 359,309 users and 221 new creators in 2025. What do you think about those numbers? And did you back any of these games?
I did not back any of those games. I think what is also fascinating about that group of games is I think all of them were very expensive to back, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
Don't Starve was the one that was a Kickstarter game. The other 10 were all Gamefound. But I know like Ark Nova 3D third edition, 3D edition,
Yeah.
however you want to look at it, was the one I almost backed to get since I really love Ark Nova, but to get all the stuff that I wanted to for it would have been like $350. And I was
Oof.
just like, I'm just not gonna do that. And I don't think I've ever backed a game on Gamefound. I'm trying to think if I have. I've definitely done, since they do so much with backer kit and stuff, like they've done so much back end stuff. I've definitely done stuff through their interface for games I backed on Kickstarter, who then go to Gamefound for their backer kit. But I don't know that I've ever actually backed a Gamefound game. Have you?
I have. I'm currently waiting for one that is very delayed in delivering as well, and that is Ascension Legends.
Oh yeah.
Um, it's just been so poor, so delayed. And the last update I have is from 5 days ago, saying that all shipments have arrived to their respective fulfillment centers. So I should be getting it soon, but
That's exciting.
I I I kind of got frustrated because they did something that Kickstarter did to me. It's not GameFound really. It's Stoneblade Games, Stoneblade Entertainment. They put out this game, and it's been so like delayed in um production and getting it to people's hands that it they launched another game found before this game even shipped,
Oh wow.
and that drives me nuts when they do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for Gamefound I have Mindbug, Mission to Planet Hex, Tranquility the Ascent, Fox Experiment Deluxe Wood Edition, Dead Cells, and Ascension Legends. Also Cascadia and Calico. Those are all my Gamefound backings.
Oh, nice.
So I've backed quite a few. Dead Cells being the most expensive one. Oh, that's Canadian dollars. Canadian? C? Check? I
Who
don't know.
knows?
Either Fox Experiment or Dead Cells, my most expensive ones.
Yeah, because I definitely have, like I said, if I look in like my Capon account, like my Clans of Caledonia was like pledge managed through it. My Flat Out Games
Oh yeah,
2024 releases and the 2023 releases were both like managed out of it. But yeah, I have not actually backed a straight up Gamefound game.
gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, that's true. I guess two of mine were from transfers from Kickstarter to Gamefound. I think Cascadia and Tranquility.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So they had 496 campaigns launched in 2025. That's a 65% growth
Hmm.
over year. Um, yeah, and I'm just gonna share. They have some biggest highlights of 2025, and I'm curious your thoughts on these two things. Well, there's three of them, but I'll just talk about two. We have the tariff manager. So the year started out very chaotic with U.S. tariffs being introduced at a rapid pace. As a result, creators are able to better. Sorry, our team very quickly delivered a tool that helps both creators and customers deal with this instability. As a result, creators are able to modify orders and communicate with backers. This new functionality has already proven incredibly helpful to creators and represents a step forward in how crowdfunding creators can better deal with whatever changes are thrown their way. And then they also acquired Indiegogo
Yes, they
this
did.
past year. So in the second half of the year, we acquired Indiegogo and transferred it to the Gamefound technology platform. This was an enormous project that our incredible technology team was able to do in just 3 months. I know we talked about this before. I still do think Indiegogo is a lot more variable than just board games.
Uh huh.
So when they're talking about their board game numbers, I in the staggering increase, I don't even think a lot of it can even be attributed to Indiegogo. So that's saying something else for the state of their business. I think
Yeah.
uh, just really room for them to grow. But what do you think about that tariff manager and the Indiegogo acquisition?
I think the tariff manager is a nice thing for them to do, right? Because for better or for worse, I don't know that that is ever going to, at least in the near future, it seems like that could always potentially become a problem again for them.
Yeah,
I think
next
having
month.
a solution like that that they were able to prop up quickly is impressive, and I
Yeah,
do wonder if this gives you know companies confidence that if there is a need that they like tell Game Fund like, hey, we have this need, like that they'll quickly respond to whatever that need is. That right, they'll be able to kind of put in solutions for them to kind of figure these things out. So that's kind of my thought there. As far as Indiegogo goes, I remember when this happened, you and I had talked about it, and man, I don't ever think about Indiegogo anymore. Like I just don't,
yeah,
right? And I think it is because GameFound obviously their goal has been to become like this kind of really they want to compete with Kickstarter. They want to become this, one of the names or the big name in crowdfunding. And GameFound, by its name, has a focus,
yes,
right? Like it is game focused. So I think getting something like Indiegogo so you can expand probably more readily and in a way that makes sense from a marketing perspective, your crowdfunding abilities, it makes sense for them. And I have to imagine that Indiegogo wasn't super expensive for them to acquire.
yeah,
Maybe I'm wrong, but
maybe,
I have to imagine that's true. So I would be curious if they see positive momentum as a result of that, right? Like I
yeah,
just don't, and like I said, maybe I run in the wrong circles. Maybe there is a circle of artists or creators where Indiegogo is king and that is what everyone goes to and uses, but it is not something that I have thought about in a very long time. So I think good for what their goals are. I'm just curious as to if it pays the dividends that they're hoping it will.
I was trying to find out how much they paid.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen how much they paid. I know I've looked for it before. I don't think I ever saw. But if you could find it, that'd be amazing.
Nah, yeah, there's numbers, but it's not the numbers that they spent on them. I
Gotcha.
left out one thing, one of their biggest highlights, intentionally, and I'm curious if you are aware of what Endgame is, and if not, I'm gonna tell you.
Tell me what Endgame is.
All right, so this is, I think, a divisive highlight for me, and I don't know if other people would feel the same way. So they introduced Endgame, which is a what they call a special event at the very end of a campaign, where active communities can prolong the campaign by resetting the clock. Which means that they are able to delay the closing of a campaign. For me, thinking of like, hey, I know when this campaign's gonna end, I backed it, and I'm like, I want
Hmm.
it. Please don't delay it any longer. That's my thought process. But they're saying that they've already seen tons of creatives use it, both by creators and backers alike. It drives engagement with the community, has made the end of campaigns feel magical. Watching the comments pour in as everyone tries to see how long they can keep it going. And then if you if you go below, they'll tell you there's an end game record for The Witcher Legacy,
Hmm.
which prolonged the campaign 7 days, 6 hours, and 20 minutes post the closing, and added 1.7 million euros in those 7 days. So I guess it's great for them, and I suppose I could see it being beneficial maybe on like a pay week if you're a biweekly like me. And
Right.
you're like, oh, 7 more days, come on. But I don't know, what do you feel, how do you feel about endgaming kickstarters and game founds?
I mean, I could see it being a helpful thing because remind me, and this is something I don't know that I should, but I think this is true. Is Gamefound like Kickstarter all or nothing? Like you have to fully fund or
You don't get your money back, correct? I don't believe.
right. So so if they don't fully fund, like nobody's charged.
Oh,
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. I can't remember if Gamefound is
yes,
all or
yes, I
nothing.
believe that's true. If it doesn't
So I
fund you, they don't charge you.
yeah, so I can see if you are a project that's close to funding but hasn't quite funded, where this would be a really meaningful opportunity to continue your campaign to
Yeah,
hopefully hit that funding goal. That's the only time I can see it really like being a good thing, quote unquote. Because my hope would be that if a campaign has a timeline in place, but then suddenly this end game lasts a week longer than they anticipated, that they just don't delay everything an additional week, right? Like that they still
yeah,
are putting things in. It's like, oh, now this is just like, gravy. This is great. But they kind of still keep moving on at the pace they were going to beforehand.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, it's interesting. I applaud them for trying something new, I guess.
sure.
But yeah, if because I think of right, like I know the Dice Tower is doing their funding campaign right now.
Uh-huh.
um, they're short.
Yeah,
They have 5 days left. Obviously, a ton of money usually comes in the last few days. But if they're really close, right? If they're the Dice Tower, like it'd be nice if they could just kind of continue their campaign for a few extra days to get to where they need to. If you're the Dice Tower, obviously. So
yeah. Yeah. We'll see. Well, The Witcher was at already $11 million before the end game, so
yeah, so it was doing okay.
yeah, they did okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll leave it with this. They do say in a few weeks they're going to introduce a new crowdfunding mode that they're going to call Express crowdfunding, together with the first campaign showcasing this model. But they're not really going into details on what that is. But my guess is if it's Express crowdfunding, it's probably for a finished game, and you're probably gonna back it and get it.
So it's
Uh,
basically just a
but
glorified pre-order system.
I think so. But who
Yeah.
knows? Maybe I'll be wrong. But overall, what's your thoughts on GameFound? Do you think that they're going to continue to grow this year? You think they're going to just kind of Kickstarter to the curb?
I mean, I feel like they're going to continue to grow. They seem to have found their niche in gaming as far as a platform goes. Their games are very very successful. Their games also, like I said, tend to be the games that draw a lot are very expensive games, full of miniatures, like these really kind of in depth, large box experiences. Tends to be really where they're homed at. And I think Kickstarter will still be there. I think for some places, Kickstarter is still going to be where people go, because I think of some of the games on Gamefound that were like less expensive,
Yeah.
$40, $50. Like I don't feel like they did as well
Yeah.
that as maybe they would have if they had been on Kickstarter. I think Kickstarter is just where more people casually go to check things out, is kind of the first stop I think in most people's minds when it comes to crowdfunding. But like I said, I think GameFound is going to continue to take more and more of that pie. I think it's going to continue to be a bigger and bigger deal, but we'll just have to wait and see, right? Because right now, if you go to their crowdfunding page, like active crowdfunding campaigns, there's 22.
Yeah.
And on Kickstarter, and it always goes really weird. So let's see here. Games, 103,682 projects.
Jeez.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, and that obviously is, like I said, not, a great way to look at it, but yeah, like it's just very, very different things that we're doing here. So
Yeah.
yeah, cool.
Cool.
Anything else about GameFound, Josh?
I'm happy there's another option. So, and I really like their format. So,
Yeah.
it is nice. It's a nice page to look at. So yeah, we'll see what they do. We'll check out this Express crowdfunding coming soon.
I will say that I noticed that there's going to be a reprint coming up soon of the old King's Crown. So I was
Yes,
like,
I did
great,
see that.
I'm gonna make sure that I kind of follow that. And then I looked like that I could also do a late pledge for Iridia, the Pass We Dare Tread. But then I looked at the all-in pledge is $259. So I was like, well,
What's the story with the Goat Legacy game? Do you know what this game is?
goat like what? Goat Legacy? Where is this?
There's like some goat. I also did see Colt Express the complete collection. That
Yeah, I
had
saw
me
that.
interested.
I'm fine with my Colt Express though. I don't need a different version of Colt Express.
I gotta find it. I should have had it saved up because this thing keeps popping up in. There's a dog game here.
There is a dog game.
Jono.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have. There's like a weird goat game. It's like a legacy game, and it's goats, and I don't understand it, but
Interesting.
I think it's by Indie Boarding Cards, maybe,
Okay.
or who's the ones that does the bags in the tables? All play. All maybe it's all play.
Yeah, I think I'll play. Yeah.
I don't know.
And they've
There's
been
a goat
publishing a
game.
lot more lately too. So
Oh, I could just search goat, right, and it should come up.
I'm very confident if you just type goat, it's
Goat.
gonna. Did it come
No,
up?
it must. It didn't come up. It must
Oh,
not
okay.
be goat. Must not be in the title.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot on here. Like when I look at it, and I do appreciate too that GameFound really did drive home and made the late pledge like more of a standard thing, right? Where you can pledge out if you miss the funding window. If they fund, you can still add on late, which I do appreciate, because like
Yes.
the Great Library is open for all right now, and it's like I don't have a Lacerda game yet. Is that the Lacerda game I want to get?
Mm.
I
Also,
do like libraries.
Labyrinth Chronicles, is that like a legacy Labyrinth game?
Oh, it could be Chronicle with the Chronicles time. It sounds like it could be.
And it's by Ravensburger. I would be
Great
interested in
Library English
playing
edition,
out oh,
$118.
yeah, it is. It is a legacy game for Labyrinth.
Interesting. Now, are you suddenly interested? Are you like, oh, let's do that?
Yeah. Because I got Labyrinth Minecraft from my son, and he has like Pokemon, and I still haven't played
Oh,
it, but
nice.
I've heard people love it. So I
Very
would love
cool.
to do something like that.
All right. Well, hey, there's Gamefound.
Yeah, there's Gamefound.
Josh, what I wanted to talk about for my first thing today was this little game, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. So obviously, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle came out in 2024, so I'm a little behind the times here. On Xbox, released later than in 2025 on PlayStation. When the game first came out, it was from Machine Games. I was really excited about this game. I'm not a huge Indiana Jones fan per se. Like I like Indiana Jones, but I'm not like gaga over it.
Yeah.
But I really like Machine Games. I really like their Wolfenstein games. So when I found out they were making this game, I was super excited. And then when it first came out on Xbox, I tried it, and it just wasn't jiving with me. I just wasn't really feeling it. It is a little. It's not obviously. It's very different than the Wolfenstein games. It is kind of a slower paced narrative adventure game where there's some concept. It's more immersive sim than it is probably anything. And I'm not usually a huge immersive sim fan, but I was like, well, this isn't really fitting for me, so I'll set it aside and recently I was just really looking for, a chunky narrative adventure game. So I thought I'd pick it up again and give it a shot. And I am probably 95% of the way through it. I'm right at the end.
Okay.
So I wanted to talk about it today because I didn't know if I would talk about it after I finished it, but I'm darn close. Josh, did you play this game?
I played a little bit of it, yeah, until I played like the couple first hours of it.
Okay, gotcha. What were your thoughts on it initially?
Um, uh, Initial thoughts, I thought it looked great, and I was in at the beginning, and then just kept slowly getting out. It kept,
Yeah.
in my opinion, I guess it kept getting worse. Isn't the boring? It got kept getting more boring the more I played. And I knew, like, the problem was, like, I know that there was more stuff coming, obviously, just from the trailers.
Right.
And I do want to revisit it. And I think we talked before that you said that they've added some like quality of life improvements to it that might make me more interested in going back. But it kind of lost me, not too long after you get out of the first like um, museum
Sure.
thing into the streets at night.
Yeah. So I was really similar. Like the first you start in, you know, at his college, and then eventually, I don't think this is really a spoiler. You end up going to Vatican City, right? Like that's kind of like the first progression there. And when I played it before, I was in Vatican City for a while, and I just kind of like lost interest in it. I just really wasn't enjoying it. And after when picked it back up, I said, okay, when I played it before, the combat I just did not like. Like I thought it was actually kind of bad.
Yeah,
And obviously this game is supposed to be, that more of a immersive sim game. So the combat, it you're trying to avoid combat more than anything in the game. So what I did was like, okay, I'm going to stealth as much as I can, but I'm going to turn the combat difficulty down a little bit so that if I get caught or if things don't go well, I can just punch my way out of things. That was
yeah,
really my goal, right? Because that's kind of how I played Assassin's Creed. Of like, I did try always to stealth most things, but I liked the ability in games like Assassin's Creed, where usually like once all heck breaks loose, you can just kind of fight your way out typically to at least run away if nothing else. But sometimes you can just kind of finish the thing that you're doing. So I did turn down the combat difficulty a little bit, which has been a little bit hilarious because there are times where I've had just like, I don't know, a dozen Nazis like knocked out that I punched a whole bunch, like laying on the ground in front of me, which is kind of funny. Um, all that to say, I even though I'm almost done, I've put over 20 hours into this game at this point. I don't know if I like it or not. Like I keep
sign of a
going
good
back.
game.
Yeah, I keep going back to playing it, and then as I'm playing it, I get frustrated at things because like I don't think, especially once you get towards the end of the game, some of the wayfinding I think is pretty bad. Like I think it's kind of challenging to tell where you're supposed to go.
Yeah,
Um, so that's not great. I think the way that Indiana Jones moves, he is so slow. And I get it from a quote unquote realism perspective, but when this is like I'm adventuring through these places and I'm
yeah.
using my whip to climb things and I'm jumping and then having to like clamber up this stuff and having it just be so slow kind of is an interesting decision because I'm like, okay, well, a jump, I'm gonna put my controller down and wait till you like clamber up the rest of this and I'll pick it up again and like keep going.
Yeah.
I think I've shot a gun like 3 times total ever in this, and one of them was just because uh there's like a trophy for like knocking a person's like gun out of their hands and then picking up and using it on them. So that's like the only reason I
Well, that's
really did
good.
it.
He's Indiana Jones is not a big gun guy, so
No, he's
that's
not.
the
He's
magic.
not. And what's hilarious about it too is like you have, his like pistol, and then you can pick up these repair kits because his pistol can kind of like get broken down. I have never once had to use one. That's how little I've like shot in this game. I have never once had to repair my pistol because I think I've used like I think maybe one time ever, and I think it was just to see what it was like. Like I don't even
Yeah.
know that it's such a weird, it's a baffling game to me in so many ways. But yet I still keep playing it. Like I'm gonna finish it through. I'm gonna get to the end. There's a couple and I'm gonna get some flack for this, I'm sure, because I love the Uncharted series. But like there's one moment that is super, super, like, supernatural that for a very brief amount of time,
Yeah.
and I was like, what?" Like, why just in the middle of everything, we have this, like, really, like, 30-second supernatural moment, and now it's just done, and we're moving on. And it's like, well, okay, I
Yeah.
guess. Like, it served the storytelling, I suppose, like, it was able to get you to go to a different location, but it just there's all of these, like, curious decisions throughout the game, and I know it's really highly rated. The voice acting is very good. The story is interesting. I think the puzzles are okay. The puzzles aren't too bad. I left the puzzle difficulty like at the typical puzzle difficulty, and there is some challenge there for sure. But yeah, this is just such a baffling game to me because very rarely am I so like wishy-washy on like if I was going to rate this game or recommend this game when I do
Yeah.
it, but I can't stop playing it. So obviously it must mean it's okay, right?
I don't know if it's Indiana Jones syndrome or not, but I honestly don't think Indiana Jones has been good since The Last Crusade.
It's been
And
a while, yeah.
everyone has such a fondness for it, and I am one of those people to a degree. But I don't think a lot of that Indiana Jones content has come out since then has been very good, and maybe it's because they don't know what to do with that character anymore. And that and like, yeah, I know, like, you mentioned the supernatural thing, and my first instinct is to kind of be like, oh, that, gross. But like, Indiana Jones has always had a little bit.
It
Even like
does.
Temple of Doom
Yeah.
has like a big supernatural thing. It's just that one part of the story,
Right.
but the
Oh, for sure.
climax, not necessarily just a weird throw in the middle kind of thing. Um, but I don't know. I think it's interesting. I really do want to play more, but I think, I don't know. I don't, I think maybe Indiana Jones should just retire his hat. I couldn't even watch Dial of Destiny. I couldn't get past the awful CG stuff at the beginning of that movie.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, I just am kind of surprised because this should be a game that I love because of the type of game that it is. Immersive sim aside, like, narrative focused. I prefer third person, but narrative focused, like, first person adventure game, like, really should be like my bag. And, again, first person versus third, I get it, but I would rather play Uncharted or like the Tomb Raider trilogy reboot. Like, all those to me are far superior games to
Yeah.
this game. Um,
You
but
also
yeah,
lose a little bit with the first person. Like, you lose that adventure version of the game.
yeah. And like I said, yeah, it just, and not that, you need to go in and just be able to, it would be weird if you could go into all these places and just like take out a gun and just mow everything down. Like that would be
Yeah.
super weird, right? Admittedly. Um, but yeah, the act of playing this game isn't as fun as watching this game. And yeah, but here I am still playing it, almost done with it. Like literally considering getting the platinum because like the only thing I'll really have to do to get the platinum is get all the collectibles, but
Yeah.
there's like 550 of them. So I
That's
don't know if that's
awful.
gonna happen or not. But yeah, so Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I would have preferred. I really hope that Machine Games' next game is a Wolfenstein game. I hope it's not another Indiana Jones game.
Yeah.
Sounds like everyone was really happy with the performance of this game, so maybe it's going to be an Indiana Jones game. But I would much prefer a new Wolfenstein. But we'll see what happens. So, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is what I've been playing recently. As we kind of wait for the new year to get rolling as far as games go. All right, Josh, what's next on your list?
Okay. So, forget. I don't think we've done this before, so forgive me if we have. But
Yeah.
IGN has put together, or at least updated, a list of the 100 best Xbox games of all time.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And my question to you is,
Yeah.
I want to look at the top 10 games in
Okay.
that 100. We can also look at number 100. I can tell
Sure.
you what it is already.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
but I'm curious, how many of the top 10 games do you think are Xbox first party titles?
So just to clarify, we're talking about OG Xbox.
All Xbox.
Oh, all like Xbox 360,
I believe it covers
Xbox.
everything.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So top just 100 quote unquote games you could play on some Xbox system.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we're talking about best games on Xbox, all right, how many of them are Xbox games in the top 10? I feel like we're gonna have a Halo. I feel like we're gonna have a Gears. I feel like we're gonna have a Forza. I feel like we're probably gonna have KOTOR. Um, I guess if you consider that an Xbox game or not, I guess I don't know. It
I
was
wouldn't call it. Well, it's not a first party.
party. Okay.
Yeah.
But now my question is, do they have multiple like Halos? Do they have like Halo 2 and 3
Right.
or Halo CE and 2? I will say 4. I'm going to
Okay.
say there's 4 Xbox first party games in the top 10.
Okay. That's a good guess. I can tell you the number 100 is One versus 100. So what
Oh,
do you
that's
think
kind of
about this
appropriate.
list
That was a
now?
good time. That was a really good time back in the
There's
day.
no way out of all of the games that ever came out on Xbox, One versus 100 should be number 100,
Do you
except for a
remember when there
joke.
was when they were trying to like get that to come back? Like everyone was like, "Oh, we need 1 versus
Yeah.
100 back."
Number 99 is Conquer Live and Reloaded. I'll give you the last two. Just remember, this is an IGN list.
There's an IGN list. Yes, it is. Okay.
Um, yeah. So I'm gonna get down. We'll start at number 10 and we'll work our way down.
Okay.
If you want to tally the first parties, we can try doing it together. So
Yeah.
number 10, which was surprising to me, is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. So
Oh,
KOTOR
interesting.
hops in at number 10 on their list. I do
Interesting.
like that it came out on my birthday. They had the date in
Yeah.
2003. I don't think I played it at release because I don't think I was into like the RPGs at the time.
Yeah.
That style of RPG.
Interesting. Number I would have thought this would have been higher because of how much people love this
Yeah,
game.
I thought it would have been like top 5 for sure.
So, but we said we're not considering, even though it was an Xbox exclusive, we're not
It's
considering this.
Aspire. Yeah, it's not by Microsoft. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Number 9, Halo Combat Evolved. Original
Gotcha.
Halo, number 9.
OG Halo. Okay. Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So if Halo's number 9, do you see it? You're not a big Halo guy, right?
So I have played, like, I played a lot of Halo 3, like a
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
ton of Halo 3.
yeah.
Um, especially a lot of Halo 3 multiplayer until Call of Duty Modern Warfare pulled me away from it.
Okay,
But like so not OG Halo or Halo 2, but I played a ton of Halo 3. It's still my favorite Halo is Halo 3.
okay.
Because I played a lot most of them after that. But yeah, I played Combat Evolved once and didn't really like it that much.
So that was my question was going to be: do you think that they have gotten better over time? So
When
that
Campaign
is
Evolved,
a good answer.
yeah, when Campaign Evolved comes out in the fall, I'll probably play it. But I do,
Yeah,
from what I remember, I think Halo 2 and Halo 3 are both superior games to Halo.
I would agree with you on
So,
that. Okay, number 8 is Forza Horizon 5.
okay. Yeah, I
Arguably
mean,
the best in the Horizon series.
well, and I think arguably one of the best racing games, period, ever, right?
Yes, but I think that that's a black and white thing too, where you say racing and then people think two different types of racing.
Yeah, you
So
get
this
your
is
sim
certainly not
versus
one
your.
of the best racing games of all time. If you ask a Gran Turismo or Forza player,
Okay, let's say best open world racing game. How does
yes,
that
I think
sound?
it's the best like arcade racing.
Arcade Racer? Sure.
I still think it's the best racing, like one of the best racing games ever
Yeah.
made.
I mean,
But
and we'll talk about its successor in a little bit here.
we will, yeah. Number 7. This one really shocked me. Inside. Number 7 out of the top 100 games of all time on the Xbox is
Now,
Playdead's Inside.
I like Inside a lot.
Yeah.
But and I know the people who love it absolutely love it. So I guess I
Yes.
get it to a degree in the sense that especially thinking about IGN, and though it's been a really long time since I've like consumed anything from IGN. If the old heads are still there that really liked it, like your David Hatfields, if I feel like for some reason I remember him really liking that game, maybe I'm making it up. Uh yeah, I could see that. I know the people who love it love it. I think that's weird as far as like the top 100 Xbox games.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would put it that high.
Yeah.
But hey, teach their own. Congratulations, Inside, on being one of the best Xbox games.
Yeah. So we're at 2 first party games going into number 6. Number 6 isn't going to add another one to that list. Number 6 is BioShock by 2K Boston.
Interesting. Okay.
Um, uh, Yeah, I think it's obviously like I mean, I think it's an incredible game, but
Yeah.
like it is weird to have it like I don't know, maybe because it's called top 100 Xbox games, I feel like it's
Mhm.
weird because it's on every platform. But
Yeah. I do
yeah, it's
think
on
though that
Xbox.
it is. Yeah. I I guess I'm not really surprised by this, right? Because like what BioShock came out in what was it
7.
2007? Yeah.
Yeah.
At that time, it really was like, Xbox was in its quote unquote shooter box like life, right? Like,
Yeah.
and it was this kind of spark that maybe helped people who were really into shooters be like, whoa, like shooters can do a whole bunch. So I
Yeah.
do. I mean, the first place I played Bioshock was on Xbox.
Same.
Um, so I do think that it kind of does make sense for me for it to be there because it is just one of the greatest games of all time for a group of people. And then I think if you kind of synthesize that into like what the Xbox world was in the mid 2000s, it makes sense to me that this might be
Yeah.
that high on the list.
Yeah. Okay. Number 5 gets us a third first party title. That's Halo 2 is number 5.
Okay, so two Halo games at least.
Yeah.
So is Halo 3 going to be higher? That's what I'm wondering about.
Good question.
For me,
Number
it is 5.
4, we got Gears of War 3.
Is Gears of War 3 your favorite Gears?
I think Gears of War 3 is the best Gears. I think Gears of War 2 is my favorite Gears.
You know what? I think I probably would say the same thing.
Yeah.
I
Gears of
think
War
I'm
2
a.
is just a fantastic follow up to a great little game that really expanded it to be a
Mhm.
much bigger game. Um, and I just like the story better. But Gears of War
Yeah,
3, I think, is the better game.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Like I said,
So,
I Gears of War though. I do think Gears of War is one of those underappreciated series when we talk about the great series of all time, right?
yes.
Talk about your BioShocks, your God of Wars, your Uncharted's, like all of these things. I think Gears of War usually ends up at the bottom of those lists, and I think it's better than it typically gets the credit for, personally.
I agree with you. I think so too. It gets overlooked because of its like, well, because of its look. Uh,
Yeah, right. It's a bro shooter, right?
yeah, bro shooter. Yeah. Number 3 is Grand Theft Auto 5,
5. Okay, sure. I
which came out 13 years ago.
Oh man,
For
that
real.
is that's a time capsule for me. Wow, because that'd been like what? It was like September
Yeah,
2013. Is that right? Yeah,
September. Yeah.
man. Do you? I guess I should know this. Are you a big GTA fan?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. Did you play GTA 5?
I play GTA 5 multiplayer. I really do enjoy GTA multiplayer.
Uh huh.
I don't have any love for it as a standalone game. I think I did play, I think the most Vice City and San Andreas,
Okay.
and San Andreas was where it kind of crossed the too much to do line for me,
Mm-hmm.
like the eating and the working out and the biking and
Sure. Sure.
just
Sure. Sure.
too much, not for me. Um, but yeah, I was more of an OG Grand Theft. I'm a top down Grand Theft Auto guy.
Yeah.
PC, GTA 1.
Yeah. I tried to play GTA 5 and I never finished the story. I tried multiple times to play it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I just couldn't really ever get into it.
I play with Lucas a bunch doing the multiplayer. It's a ton of fun. I really enjoy the
Mhm.
heists and all that.
Yeah.
That's the more like that part's great. But yeah, number 3, GTA 5. We get 2 left. Number 2, not a Microsoft first party title.
Can I guess?
Yes,
Um, so it's going to be one of two games. It's going to be an RPG. And since you said it's not a Microsoft title, it's either going to be Oblivion or Mass Effect, probably 2.
it is Mass Effect 2. Correct.
Okay.
Mass Effect 2. The first game you could play on PlayStation that at that time from the
Yeah,
Mass
at that
Effect
time.
trilogy.
Yeah.
um, yes, Mass Effect 2. And I agree with it, but I would have this as number 1 over the next game. But that's
Mm.
my bias towards Mass Effect. Where
Do you still
I wear a
remember?
Mass Effect jacket every day of my life, so I'm
Do you
very
remember
clean.
when we? I feel like it was not too long after we started this podcast how you guaranteed me Mass Effect
I
Andromeda
know,
was going
you
to be Game
remind
of the
me
Year.
all the time. And guess what? There's nobody more disappointed than me. Nobody's more disappointed than me. I'm more disappointed than BioWare wasn't. Our number one game, you can guess it if you would like, because you're probably right on the nose.
I mean, I don't know that I am
Oh, I think you
because
can. Don't overthink it.
Halo 3.
Correct.
Okay.
Halo 3 is their number one Xbox game of all time.
Huh. Do you agree? Oh, you obviously think that Mass Effect 2 should be over that, but do you think that Halo 3 should be number 2 then?
No, I mean, I agree with your list because I think if you're doing a top 100 Xbox games of all time, your number one game should be
Should be an
like
Xbox
an
game.
Xbox game.
Yeah.
Even though that will change over time on what we
Sure.
know as Xbox games.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I'm trying to think of like what else. So I'm kind of surprised Oblivion's not on there
Yes,
because
agreed.
Oblivion was so
Let me see if I can find
associated
it.
with Xbox.
Skyrim is 23.
Okay.
Gears of War 1 is 21.
And maybe like Fable 2 would be the other one that I'm kind of surprised maybe isn't in the
I'm
top 10,
very
but I don't know what I'd swap out necessarily.
Fable 2 is
It's hard.
14.
Okay.
And Oblivion is 12. So they're right on the cusp.
Okay. I mean that's one of those lists that overall, like you're like, yeah, that list makes sense. It's not very exciting.
No,
but it's a totally reasonable list.
I'll tell you, Splinter Cell Chaos Theory being at number 13 is funny.
Oh, okay.
It's not even the best Splinter Cell.
Yeah, I was like, that's not the Splinter Cell I would pick either.
No,
but
it's the last Splinter Cell to get released, I think.
Huh.
Yeah. It's an interesting list. Fez is at 18 over Mass Effect 1, which I think is funny. You know, I know some people like Fez. I didn't know that many people like Fez.
I mean, Fez is actually one of the few games that like I think I 100%ed Fez if I recall correctly. Yeah, I liked Fez, but I don't know that it should be a top 20.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle makes it number 30.
Yeah, like I said, I could see it. I know other people like that game more than I do.
Yeah.
Is okay? So Inside was on the list. Is Limbo on the list?
I haven't seen it yet. I'm seeing Braid is on here. Fable is all the way back at 41. Fable 2 isn't even near it.
Interesting.
That's crazy. Limbo, yeah, 46 for Limbo.
Okay. And then
Shadow Complex is number 50.
I was going to just ask if Shadow Complex was on there, mostly because of Xbox Live Arcade more than anything, right?
And
like
then Sunset Overdrive is 51.
Oh, that game was so much fun. It was. I don't know that it was a more fun than it was good game, but it was a fun game.
Yeah, Project Gotham Racing makes the list. I like that. That's old school throwbacks. Hi-Fi Rush is number 63. I like that that's on there.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Mirror's Edge, Alan Wake, Ori all the way back at 69.
That seems a little low to me.
That seems pretty low. SSX 3 at number 70. One of my favorite RPGs of all time, Lost Odyssey at 71.
Which inspired, what had to be one of the games that inspired the most recent, game of the year. Yeah, has to be. Has to be.
Yeah. Keeper's on here. I don't know that Keeper should be number 78.
Ooh, I don't know about that
either. For our top 100 games of all time. So there's a little room for growth and moves in here. But I think it's a pretty good list overall. Peter Jackson's King Kong makes number 88.
Okay.
Which kind of created the Xbox 360 if you look at it one way or the other. So yeah, Condemned. I really love Condemned. That's number 91.
Titanfall's on there somewhere, right?
Titanfall is. I might have scrolled past it.
Oh, okay.
It's definitely
on there somewhere.
Titanfall 2 at least. There's no way it's not on this list. If they got Steel Battalion at 96, they better have found it.
Well, all right, IGN. Thanks for that. Maybe Josh, one time we should create our top 100 Xbox games of all time.
Oh, that could be fun.
Do you really want to do 100 games?
No, Titanfall's at 80.
Okay, maybe
Titanfall 2 not on the list. That is crazy.
That is crazy.
Hold on, let me make sure it's not on here again. It's not. Oh my goodness.
I mean, like I know Titanfall obviously was associated with Xbox, but Titanfall 2 is just a straight up better game.
Titanfall 2 is just one of the best campaign shooters ever.
Great
Should be on
campaign, great
every
multiplayer. Yeah, it
console's
was a
top
just great
100
game.
list.
Great console. Yeah. Oh, such a good console shooter. All right, Josh. Well, hey, let's go from what was, some fun walks down memory lane to what's now probably gonna be some sad walks down memory lane for my story here. Ubisoft, apparently a shell of its former self at this point.
Yeah.
This is from the fine folks over at GameIndustry.biz that Ubisoft reveals new creative house structure, cancels 6 games, and announces final round of cost-cutting and studio closures to drive 200 million euro savings. All staff to return to full-time in-office work. Changes will cause additional billion-euro loss in fiscal 2026,
Oof.
but lay foundations for a return to midterm growth. So, Ubisoft has confirmed in an interview the first details of its new creative house structure and the cancellation of 6 games, yada, yada, yada. The changes means that Ubisoft Stockholm will close following the closure of Ubisoft Halifax last week. The company said they canceled games, including a Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake,
Oh
which I guess, Josh, that
no.
means it's never coming out based off our predictions a couple weeks ago. And 3 new IPs, one of which was a mobile title. Um, so, Josh, just initial reaction. The story comes out that they're closing a ton of stuff, canceling a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Ubisoft has obviously been in dire straits, it seems, for a while. This announcement caused them to lose 33, I think, percent of their value.
Yes.
They have lost 95% of their value since 2018. What was your initial reaction to Ubisoft just announcing all this?
I mean, unfortunately, we've seen this coming.
Yeah.
I don't think either of us are happy about it. We
No.
certainly share our love for Ubisoft on here all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it seemed to be very obvious that they're having a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And it seemed only a matter of time before something like this happened. Obviously we didn't know what that was going to be. I don't know that I don't know that telling everyone to come back to work to just let like half of them go is great, but uh yeah, it'll be interesting to see what this creative house idea looks like, because I just don't know. I worry about games in development. I worry about like the next Division game, if we're
Yeah.
ever going to see that now. I worry about someone buying Ubisoft now, and who will that be, and what does that look like after that happens. Um, there's a lot of unfortunate things that could happen from this bad news. Um, just
So,
looking at the creative house stuff, like
yeah.
there's a
So
whole
let's talk
studio
about
just
that.
for Hasbro games. Like, okay, you're still charging $30 for Uno on the Xbox. Maybe fix that.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about that new structure. As Josh mentioned, they now have 6 creative houses. The first one being Vantage Studios, which was announced last year. This is their Tencent backed endeavor that will work on Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six. Ubisoft has previously said it will contain the Montreal, Quebec, Sherbrooke, Saguenay, Barcelona, and Sofia studios. Then there's Creative House 2, which will deliver competitive and co-op shooters and will include bands like Ghost Recon, Splinter Cell, and The Division. Creative House 3 will make select sharp live experiences. What does that mean?
I don't
Sharp
know what
live
that means.
experiences? Including Brawlhalla, For Honor, Riders Republic, Skull and Bones, that sharp
How are
experience
they
that is Skull
still
and Bones,
pushing Skull and Bones?
and the crew. Creative House 4 will focus on immersive fantasy worlds and narrative-driven universes, including Anno, Beyond Good and Evil, which apparently that game is still in development,
No way.
Might and Magic, Prince of Persia, even though they just canceled one, and Rayman, which apparently has 2 games in development.
Huh.
And then Creative House 5 is focused on family-friendly and casual games, including Just Dance, Uno, Hungry Shark, Invincible, Guarding the Globe, and the company's licensed Hasbro titles. So, Josh, hearing about this structure, right? We got these houses focused in specific areas. You mentioned, hey, do we ever get another Division? Well, now if you had to pick between Ghost Recon, Splinter Cell, and Division, Josh, which one are you picking?
What an awful choice to have to make. I guess we don't have to worry about Splinter Cell since they've abandoned it. So I guess
True.
we'd have to pick between the Division and Ghost Recon. I, I, if you asked me this 5 years ago, I would tell you the Division, because we were so oversaturated with Ghost Recon.
Yeah.
But I'm really missing Ghost Recon right now, and the Division 2 is so good that we can just pick up and play whenever.
Yeah.
And We could probably do that with Ghost Recon Wildlands, but not Breakpoint. Uh, I would be happy with either. I guess if I'm thinking in the bigger picture, though, I think the Divisions is a more solid game.
Yeah. And obviously, who knows, cuz they have these houses now, and I do wonder if that means that like they have I wonder if this means they're kind of going more of the Nintendo route where like the individual studios within these areas are like kind of going to be no more,
Yeah,
and it's just going to be like Creative House 2, like anything that is like Ghost Recon or the Division, that's just kind of like what it's titled. Um Rather than, because it's like Massive, if I recall, is it Massive who makes the Division?
Massive does the Division. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's like rather than it being Massive, like is it just going to be like Creative House 2?
right.
I don't know. So because they also, they're the ones who did the Avatar game, which
Oh yeah.
I don't know, honestly, it was kind of fun. I kind of enjoyed it. So man, Josh, this just really bums me out. I used to love Ubisoft, and it was funny. I made a joke when, in the Discord they were talking about how they had lost 95% of their value since 2018. And I was like, man, if you look at the games that came out in 2018 from Ubisoft, like, yes, you had like, I think that was the Assassin's Creed Odyssey year, but you had like Starlink Battle for Atlas, and I think you had like Valiant Hearts, right? Like you had all these like
Yes.
quirky games that like came out too, when they were like worth the most. So it's like, well, I guess we just need another Starlink Battle for Atlas. That'll solve all of our problems, apparently, right?
Or like Mario, they need another Mario Rabbids game.
Well, apparently the second one didn't do super well.
Oh really?
Apparently,
Well,
yeah,
that's a bummer then.
that is a bummer. So it's a sad day for Ubisoft and its employees. Obviously, a number of people are going to be laid off. So these layoffs just continue, in the games industry, which is tough to see. Um, we'll see what all happens here. What I'm bummed that Prince of Persia game got canceled. The
Yeah.
Black Flag remake apparently got delayed till probably later this year. So it's a bummer. I really used to play and love Ubisoft games, and it just seems like they can't really get a win these days. All right. Well, Josh, let's move on to our final boss of the night.
Yeah.
Xbox held their annual developer direct, which highlighted 4 games: Fable, Forza Horizon 6, Beast of Reincarnation, and the surprise game, which was Kiln from Double Fine.
Mm.
So let's step through each game and our thoughts and reactions. So we'll go through in order of like how they were talked about in the developer direct. But before we get to that, Josh, A, did you watch this? Like, did you watch it live? Did you watch the whole thing later? And what are your thoughts on this format? Does it still deliver the goods like you want it to?
I watched it both. I watched it live and then I watched it again at home in stunning 4K.
Nice.
Yeah, I watched it at work on my break. Not the whole thing, obviously, but like bits and
Yeah.
pieces. Um, and yeah, um, I love the format still. The format's great. I really like what they did. They really like took this bridge this gap between what Xbox used to do and like a direct or a state of play, and they kind of really like just the directing of it is very well done. The music is very well done. They do a good job at keeping interviews that feel like authentic and not scripted. Where I know they are scripted, but you can it just the direction they're giving these people is good in my opinion. So you don't feel like you're watching a Game Awards like scripted Muppets monologue. Uh,
In fairness, they also can have as many takes as they want to in this one.
I agree. I know. In fairness, for sure, for sure, it's not live.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like a bad scripted Nintendo Direct where there's someone saying something that they don't believe in. So yeah, I really, uh, you know what was nice about this? This was an entire Direct I got to watch with my son without having to censor anything,
Oh yeah.
which was really nice. And he was very excited about a lot of these games too.
Um. So every once in a while, I have a thought on something, and then someone who is like smart and timely releases something that says basically the same thing I do, and then I'm like, oh man, I should just change my take because I'm just gonna sound like a copycat. But and this is one of those situations where I'm gonna say my take anyway. I think the production of these developer directs is very, very good.
Yeah.
However, I legitimately think they are the exact same presentation every year, and all they do is change the like we wanted to have the most immersive like action to we wanted to have the most immersive driving. Like I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
literally the same script that they just
yeah,
take out the word and put in the word for the new game.
yeah.
Like I
Buzzwords.
and it's not I don't think it's bad. Like I think it does a good job of showing the games off well, but I do think it's kind of gotten to the point where I I don't know. Like I watch this thing and I'm like, all right, you're gonna watch everybody walk, towards the cameras, and then they're gonna
Yeah,
say their piece, and then they're gonna
yeah,
say how they rebuilt something from the ground up, and they're really excited for the players to see it, and they like it just feels like the same thing with
yeah,
just a different game. But I literally they're describing it the exact same way every time,
yeah.
and
I
I
hear
was really
you.
bummed because then Kyle Bossman came out with a video saying that. I was like, damn it, like come on, man, like I was really excited to like, hey, I have maybe a unique perspective on something, and I don't because everyone has the same perspectives as everyone else. But anyway, that being said, still like the games that were shown,
Yeah,
like but yeah, that was my only thing is I would like a little bit more personality.
sure.
That's all.
You're telling me that you didn't get enough personality out of Tim Schafer.
No.
Really?
No. Because
Really?
I think Tim Schafer would have been way goofier than that if it was
Oh,
just
he
Tim
was so
Schafer.
goofy. I loved it.
Oh, I think he was goofy too, but I'm saying I think that was him like way toned down. Like I
We
think he
all
would have
can't be
been
Mark Cerny. I'm sorry.
Mark, I mean,
Please play my game. It took us
please.
milli months to build.
I really have been looking forward to looking at the inside of everyone's ears so we
I'm
can
not
figure
AI.
out.
I swear.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Mark Cerny. Yeah. No, that's all. That's my
I'm
only thing
teasing.
about
I'm
it.
teasing. No, I know. I think that's very valid, and it's a good point.
So, and we'll get to it when we talk about it. But let's talk about the first game they showed, which was Forza Horizon 6. Obviously, the
Yeah,
follow up to Forza Horizon 5, which is apparently one of the 10 best Xbox games of all time.
of all time.
Coming out this May on Xbox and PC, but this year on PlayStation, so delayed till
Yeah,
sometimes later this year. Going to Japan, which is something people have been saying they've wanted for a long time. I
yeah,
feel like Japan is like the new hotness as of late, right? Like every game it seems like it's set in Japan or something like that these
yeah.
days, which is fine. That's not a bad thing. But Josh, what was your take on what they presented with Forza Horizon 6?
I mean, it looked great. I'm not gonna sit here and like as a Forza fan and say like they showed off anything groundbreaking. But so like I'm watching it going like, okay, so people who haven't played Forza before, this will really get their attention. If you played Forza, you don't even need to see this because you already know what you're
Yeah.
signing up for.
Yep.
I do like that they showed off some of the new modes. I'm interested to see what this like builder mode is because like how much are you really shaping the environment and like
Yeah.
what does that look like
Yeah.
because the maps are so huge.
Right.
So it has to be like in a segregated area or something.
Right.
I am actually very excited about the customizable garages and the estate because it actually gives you something different. Like in Forza, you just buy houses, right? You're like buying
Yeah.
houses; it's part of the thing. I like the idea of being able to like pick my like 5 favorite cars and have them in a showroom. So like when my son's like, "Look at I see your cars," like, yeah, like let me show you. Like you can come in my game and check it out. Or it's just like a silly aesthetic thing. Like obviously it's not a big gameplay change, but I do like that it is something different that's coming into the game. That a game that they don't have to change much of to be successful. They just have to change the environments, which obviously we're getting really cool environments in this game.
Mm-hmm. I Josh, I want to share with you like uh how much I don't even like my own like reaction to these things these days. And this isn't because it's like an Xbox game. The minute they showed, hey, look at this big area that you can build out.
Yeah.
All I thought in my mind was, hey, look at here all these places we can charge you additional money for
Uh,
microtransactions. That's literally all I thought. I was like,
yeah.
we need to find more ways we could charge you more money to put things up in places.
Yeah. That's fine. That's fair. If they charge, they might not.
They might not.
It
I
might be
would
free.
guess at some point there will be like a fun DLC pack of like unique
Oh,
buildings and things like that.
sure. Yeah. I'm sure there will be something.
Yeah. Or more ways to keep it so you have to race more to unlock the thing to, you know what I'm saying? Like, right, just to keep you more engaged in
Yeah,
the game.
so if that's where it goes, so I could see that more in like test drive
Oh, sure,
or
yeah.
these or the crew. I really I hope that that's not where they go with it. I hope it's just a little tag on
Mhm.
and they don't exploit it and it doesn't become part of the game. I think it just should just be a fun little thing that you can do if you just want to drive around and be bored with your friends. Like I don't want it to be more than that. So
Yeah.
I could
Hopefully I'm
see that
wrong.
happening though. I could see
Like I
that
said,
happening.
hopefully I'm wrong. I'm just so like, ugh, about all this stuff these days. I'm just a grouchy old man, I feel like.
No, I mean it's I understand like it's just like you're cautious about it and I get it. Like after we watched this, my son was back playing Forza 5, so I reinstalled it. We were playing it, and I was doing a race, and I forgot that there's even like custom races. So like I'm
Mhm.
doing a race, waiting for him to join me, and I'm looking, and I go, oh wait, there's a custom one here. Oh, and it's on Halo, like it has the Halo
Yeah.
ring in the skybox, and I was like,
Yeah.
holy crap, that's really cool. So there's still so much fun little stuff I don't even know from the other Forzas. So
Yeah.
no, I'll be happy with what they give us. But the Japan atmospheres look great. It really gave me some like Midnight Club vibes for the street
Mhm.
racing stuff, and I really liked like when they showed the twisting off ramp with
Oh,
the
yeah.
and obviously we're gonna get drifting on that down that mountain I can never remember the name of that is famous for drifting with those tight turns all the way down. Um, I should know it. It's an initial D. It's in Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
I just can't remember the name. But yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I am famously not a racing game person, though I think Forza
Correct.
Horizon 5 is fun. It just, is not something that usually holds my attention for very long. I think the game looks great, right? Like these games always look incredible. There's no doubt that they are like top of top tier when it comes to open world racing games, and they are the thing everything else is compared to. So, I have no doubts that this will be great. What it And this is not just a Forza thing. This is just games in general these days. Do we really need 550 cars? Like, do we really like at
Wait, how
what
many
point is
cars
that
are in Gran
number like
Turismo 7?
but that's the same thing, right? Like I
Yeah,
would say that for GT7 too. Like at
yeah,
what point are we just like does it actually a value add to the game anymore? Right? Like at what point are you just having so many cars that it's not really even an improvement to the game, but it just sounds good to say,
right.
right? And like I said, that's not just a Forza thing by any
No, I
means.
know. Again, just teasing.
Yeah.
But I will say this about it. Yes, 550 cars is excessive. Every car that I've used in Forza handles differently,
Oh, 100%.
and I do like that. So
Hmm.
you know what? Maybe you're that person who's tried 500 cars and you haven't found the one that you like.
Yeah, and 501 is the one
There
that
you
does it for
go.
you. It could
You
be.
got 50 more chances.
That's right. It could be. It could be. All right. Then after that, we got Game Freak to talk about Beast of Reincarnation.
Yeah.
I think they really, really wanted us to know at the beginning of it that they're the company that makes Pokemon. If you didn't know,
Yeah.
they make Pokemon. They make Pokemon, but also here's this game by the game that people from the people who make Pokemon games.
Yes. Also, they listed like three other games, and I was like, "Oh, you guys made those too?"
And Pokemon.
And Pokemon. That's right.
What was
Can't
what
forget
was your
that.
thought on Beast of Reincarnation?
I think it looks super cool. I really like the nature aspect of it, like the
Yeah,
powers. Am I worried it's just a painted up Souls game? Yeah. I mean, if it is, I'm
sure.
not gonna play it.
Yeah,
I'll try it though.
yeah.
It's
On
gonna be
Game
on Game
Pass.
Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um.
think it looks really cool, and I like the uh, Coo, right? That's the wolf
Yep.
or dog.
Yep.
I like that, and um, I'm a little blighted out, but
Yeah.
it's not a killer for me yet, but
Yeah.
it's getting there.
Yeah. A little blighted out, a little sorted out, a little Japanned out at this point, right?
Sure,
But
I'll never be Japanned out. Sorry, you
yeah, I don't
lost
know
me
that I
on
will
that
be
one.
either. I say that, but I don't know that's true. Um, this of all the games actually was the one I was most interested in.
Yeah,
But I will say, um, Game Freak's other games haven't always been great. And that's my
sure.
worry here, right? Like I think this is doing a lot of interesting and neat and cool things. I really like the look of the game. I like the feel of the game. I thought the vine thing with how you move is a pretty
Yeah,
neat
that was
traversal
really
thing,
cool.
right? Like there's some neat, unique mechanics going on here, but also a whole lot of mechanics we've seen before, a whole lot of
Yeah,
things that we've done before in games, right? But that you can still have a good version of that, and it can still be fun. So this is the one I am most interested in, though this is the one I'm probably least confident in being good.
sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, but I thought it was a good showing of what game, especially the fact that they said they've been working on this for 6 years.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, it is from that perspective, I'm very curious how this turns out. I really hope it is a coming out party for Game Freak because their Pokemon games obviously sell a bazillion copies, but also they're not technical powerhouses. They aren't lookers, right? Like they have a lot of issues, even though they sell boatloads. Um, I'm hoping that this can sell reasonably well, but also can kind of fix the technical issues, can kind of fix um, the problems that they seem to have, on the technical side of their games, and hopefully by a 6 year development cycle will help with that. So, the surprise game then, Kiln from the fine folks at Double Fine, a pottery brawler, online brawler, where you create your piece of pottery and then go beat people up with it and try to put out the kiln on the other side with some water. Josh, we were asked to predict what this game, the game at the showcase was going to be. That was the surprise game. I think I might have even said that it could be a Double Fine game, but I didn't pick
Yeah.
Double Fine as being the actual thing. Um, what were your thoughts on the reveal of Kiln?
Well, my son was thrilled. He's super excited. I thought it was cute and interesting at first until it's just a cleverly disguised MOBA, and then it really lost my interest when I'm like, oh, teams of four rushing to put out someone else's kill. Oh, okay. At the end of their base. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. All right. I see what this is.
yeah,
So I'll probably play it because my son is really interested in it.
sure,
And it looks like it could be fun for sure. Like, I
yeah,
do like a lot of what they're doing. I just, when it gets down to the gameplay, I know I'm going to be less interested in that because
yeah.
uh, I don't know, the burnt out isn't the right word. I'm just not a fan of that particular style of game
How do you think they are going to prevent phallic shaped pottery?
because well, I think when they showed it, it has like set. It was like, hey, this will recognize the designs you're doing, so it's going to stop you.
But there's definitely
Just
still some like freedom
yeah.
within those
Well,
designs.
and you can
So
put a butt sticker on you guys, so
yeah,
like
that's
I'm
true.
sure they're going to not limit it too much.
Yeah. Um, I really okay. This is
It's
me
cute.
sounding.
It's super double finey.
Yeah, it is super double fighting. This is man. I am sounding so negative these days, even though I actually think this game looks great. Um, I feel this is the kind of game that a company releases and then it bombs and they get closed.
Yeah. Well, except for Ubisoft, they get to do that for 15 years and then slowly close.
That's true. Very slowly closed. Um, that's my concern. I just really am worried that this is going to be an absolute fart in the wind.
Yeah,
I hope it's not. I hope it does really, really well. I hope that people support it. I hope it is everything that Double Fine needs to continue to be a thriving company. But I'm just very, very worried in
fart
this
fart in a pot.
very full multiplayer online world that
Yeah.
this is gonna, Roblox was like the number one game of 2025, like for dollars spent and like everything else, and like Fortnite was number two. I'm just worried. I'm
You
so
know,
worried.
uh, if they can get its only online multiplayer, there's not like
I don't think it
bot.
has
If
anything
there's like
else.
bot
Yeah,
matches, I really think that could extend the life of it.
and maybe there is that. That's very possible. But
That would be nice. But yeah, if it's
yeah,
just online only, that could be
so
tough.
yeah, so that's coming out this spring on everything. Well, PC, PlayStation, Xbox. Is it coming out Switch?
I don't think it's at Switch yet.
I don't think it said Switch either. Now that I said that.
No.
Okay, and then finally, kind of the one everyone was waiting for, Fable.
Fable, it
Josh,
exists.
yeah, it exists
Can
again.
you believe it?
Um, I guess so. Tell me your thoughts on Fable.
I don't know where to begin, if I'm being honest with you. I didn't think that we would see any of this.
But we did.
But we did. And I will tell you, for me, this really hit. This really delivered. Um, It really put my worries aside. Although my worries were strong going in because
Mhm.
it, and I had to remember what it was like to play Fable 1 through 3, right? So like we see the first image of like the kid walking through the town. Like you start as a kid,
Mhm.
and I'm like watching it. I'm like, oh my god, look at that! Like it's like beleaguered walking. You're like, oh, how long is it going to take him to get to where he's going?
Yeah.
Like, and then I remembered back to Fable, and Fable's just like that. You started as a kid, and everything is a little bit bigger. Everything takes a little bit longer to get to. It's literally just because you're smaller and your
Mhm.
legs are shorter. It's like something that Fable did really well, and it seems like it picks up pretty quickly after that. When you're an adult in the game, the movement looks a little bit quicker. The combat looks really good. It certainly reminded me of Hogwarts. I saw that. Like, it certainly reminded me of of Hogwarts Legacy combat, but it reminded me of Fable combat. Fable
Uh-huh.
combat was very similar to what we saw: the lightning
Yeah.
strikes, the sword combat, all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. Um, and like, yeah, it really touched on a lot of the stuff I love the originals for, which is like messing with the people
Mhm.
in the towns and all these ways you can interact with the level, and then kind of focusing on giving us a little bit of a spoiler into one of the big decisions you make at the beginning of the game, knowing that there's these big moments, decision making moments that will affect the game in some degree.
Mhm.
um, I really like that. I think it looked great. Do I think it's still a little bit polished up? Probably. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not entirely confident that we're not seeing what I am a big critic of, which is the polished effect,
Mhm.
or the fable ish effect, the false effect.
Yeah.
But I think we did see a lot of actual gameplay in there as well. And I will say I'm kind of bummed that I'm not going to say that they caved on the character design. Maybe they always had the intention of being able to be male or female, because you could
Yeah.
in the other fables.
Yep.
But um, I don't care I don't care what these people say. I'm still picking that girl. I still think she is attractive. I don't know why people are coming down on her. I'm okay with that. And you
Yeah.
better believe you play Fable for the romances too. So you need like some type of attractive main character.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah,
so
because
yeah, I can't
you
wait
gotta
to
get
have
married a whole
multiple
bunch.
wives and husbands and kids running
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, absolutely. Gotta be in a you gotta have as many families as possible. Um,
Yeah. What did you think? Clearly, your opinion is more interesting than mine because I'm such a Fable fanboy.
I feel like I
You're
am
still in your negative Nancy mood.
well, a little bit, but also, like, I feel like I watched it like a different thing than everyone else
Oh,
did
okay. All right.
because I I I think the world design is compelling. I think
Okay.
the kind of the way it looks and the sense of place is super interesting. I actually kind of appreciate the fact that it chugged sometimes because that
Yeah.
tells me that's actually gameplay, right? What worries me is that we saw gameplay for like 2 or 3 seconds at a time
Yeah.
and then nothing. And then it would jump to something else, and then it
Yeah.
would jump to something else, and then it would jump to something else. And there was a whole lot of like tone shots of like, here's what this place looks like.
Yes.
Here's what this place looks like.
Yeah.
So more than anything, I'm really skeptical about autumn 2026 as a release date.
Oh, I mean, so am I.
Um, the second thing, I thought the combat looked totally
Fine.
fine.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
I
not what
don't think
it's
it looked
known for.
good. A lot of people are like, "Oh my gosh, the combat looked amazing." I'm like, "Were we watching the same combat?" Because I thought it looked fine. like,
Yeah.
um, and I know that, it's Fable, so it's not necessarily going to be this stylish action combat. I get that. I know that the magic and everything is much more understated as far as like you're not going to have these massive huge things going off.
Yeah.
But I still, even with all of that, think it looked fine. Especially the melee combat. I thought I was not super impressed with.
Yeah. I'll also remember it is also, I mean, this is not an excuse. It's also playground games. So
It is.
we have not seen them tackle something like this before either. But
Sure.
um, yeah,
Oh,
I
I
am
agree.
I'm a little higher on it than you are, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with what you're saying.
The fact that when every time you talk to someone, they were like stiff board straight, like looking just straight ahead. There was no like
I didn't
movement, right?
notice that.
Like, oh, that like because I think that's one of the things that recently has really started to set games apart for me is that when you're having these conversations, that is like dynamic while it's happening.
Yeah,
And this is very classic RPG, which is not, so it's not necessarily a bad thing, but like you talk to the person, it zooms in on them, they're just looking straight at you, right? In like Bethesda, Mass Effect, like
yeah,
BioWare, like all of these things. I was just hoping for something a bit more dynamic to make it feel more like a living, breathing
yeah.
place, especially with how long this game's been in development and because it's Playground. And yes, this is their first game of this style, but this is also like kind of, I think at this point, one of, if not the crown jewel in the Xbox development, like
Yeah,
crown.
it has to be.
And again, maybe it's going to be amazing. I think if anything, the fact that my expectations are pretty mid on it right now,
Yeah.
sets it up to be enjoy it more. But yeah, I felt like everyone else was like, "This is the best thing ever," and I was like, "Wow, I thought that looked totally fine, like
I
not
don't
bad,
think it's yeah,
just
yeah,
fine."
yeah. I think it's just we've all been waiting, and
Yeah,
we've all been we and I yeah, and we've all worried that this would never come out. So I think yes, certainly seeing something has made the hype better.
yeah.
But also, like, let me put my conspiracy theory hat on for a second.
Conspiracy.
I think there's a world where this stuff, besides the interviews, was already filmed because they were supposed to show this last year.
Oh,
And maybe they're further along in the development cycle
than
than it
what we
looked
saw.
like than what we saw. I mean,
Yeah,
that's just a hopeful thought, but
right.
like there's no way that they haven't been trying to get footage of Fable to people for
Mhm.
years. So I'm
Yeah.
curious.
I am
Minus that.
yeah, I am now more interested than ever to see what this looks like this summer,
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
right? Because you have to imagine that this is like the end of the Xbox showcase, like their big deep dive. I am really, really interested to see what it looks like then.
Yeah. Well, you know how Xbox is weird. They'll show it first, and then
Yeah.
it'll end with Call of Duty. Because
Another deep
they're in
dive.
touch with their fan base.
There, yeah. I almost had that be one of my stories was talking about sales. But yeah, cool. Anything else about the developer direct, Josh?
Negative. I thought they were going to give us a third one, but another, not a third one, another surprise, but
Oh yeah.
it didn't go.
So
So yeah,
question then. Obviously Forza coming out in May.
yeah,
Autumn for Fable. We've already know that Halo campaign evolved as fall sometime is what they've
yeah.
said, right?
November, I
So
think
Gears of
probably.
War E Day, right? All four of those games are supposed to come out this year. Is
Yeah.
E Day a summer game? Where's that game coming?
I mean, when is Gears going to come out? It's gonna be like September.
So then where's Halo? Like August?
Halo will be November.
When GTA is?
GTA is not coming out in November.
There we go. All right. Because I could that would be like right, that would be ridiculous, right? If we had like Gears and
Yeah.
if we had Gears in August,
So Forza will
Fable in
take
like
us in.
what's that?
Forza will take us in.
Yeah.
We'll go Forza to Fable to Gears to Halo.
With and if you just think about if GTA comes out, if Call of Duty's in there somewhere, right? Like
Yeah.
but like thinking just of Xbox, right? You could have Gears, Halo, Fable, and a Call of Duty all this fall.
Yeah. Or a PlayStation.
I mean, yeah, all those would be on PlayStation 2, I guess. Yeah. Plus, yeah, you put GTA 6 in there, then that's a heck of a fall of games.
Yeah.
And then if you're on PlayStation, potentially Wolverine's in there too.
Yeah. So why even own an Xbox, really?
All right. Well, with that, we'll wrap up the show and move on to our post game celebration. Josh, what would you recommend listeners celebrate their victories with this week?
So I did want to ask if you watched the Netflix thing last night.
The Alex Honnold's Climb.
Yeah.
This guy, I did not watch it live, but I watched it
Okay.
after the fact
All right.
because I could not handle watching it live. I didn't really think anything bad was going to happen, but on the off chance that it did, I'm like, I cannot watch this
Yeah.
live. But I
Okay.
did watch it this morning.
All right. Yeah. I just thought it was funny knowing him from his documentary and then how grossly Netflixy it was.
Yeah.
It must have drove him crazy.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting too because he talked about he did an interview recently or like this morning, I think maybe or earlier or this afternoon that he's like, yeah, I didn't actually get paid very well for doing this.
Jeez. Of
He's like,
course.
you know, he's like, honestly, I would have climbed the building for free because I climb stuff all the time. He's like, I
Yeah,
really got paid for like all of the stuff around it.
great. So yeah, good job, Netflix. Oh boy. My recommendation is love him or hate him, and I've gone from both. I've loved him and I've hated him, and I'm just firmly right in the middle of. I think he did something stupid, but and he has a bad. I almost said, I almost said something I should not say. I don't like his choice of religion, and that's fine. But Pole to Pole, starring Will Smith on Disney Plus and Hulu, is out, and it is literally him going from starting the episode, getting to the South Pole, which I didn't know this. There is a literal pole at the
Oh yeah,
exact
there is.
spot
Yeah.
on the South Pole, um, and he's going from to the North Pole, experiencing all these different things in life. If you've seen like the Chris Hemsworth Limitless show or any
Hmm.
kind of shows like that, it's really more closely aligned with like Man versus Wild, where he's like meeting up with people in his field, in their field, sorry, and like having them take him on things and challenging him and pushing him. Um, and it's just it's very well done. Like I said, you can say what you want about Will Smith. He's very charismatic. He knows how to host a show. He knows how to live life. He's very Tom Cruiseian in that way. Um,
Yeah.
uh, so it must be something in the water, Kyle. Uh, but it's a fun watch. We watched the first 2 episodes. I don't know how many are out in the season, but the next he's in the Amazon right now, which ends up being a 2-part episode. Which unfortunately for me and my son, he deals with some giant spiders and scorpions and millipedes and stuff in this episode.
Mm.
And they're with a guy who is a venomologist, and they're milking tarantulas and milking scorpions 200 feet deep into the Amazon, places that no one has ever walked before. So it's pretty cool, even
What I
though
think is
there's
interesting,
tarantulas.
yeah, what I think is really interesting about this show is that like if you look at like the IMDb page for it, it has a 5.9 rating out of 10, which is really low, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at the episode ratings, if you just look at the episode ratings, 7.6, 7.5, 8.6, 8.3.
IMDb's rating scale is weird. Even a good movie almost never gets over a 6.9 on
Yeah, like
IMDb. It's
yeah.
very weird.
Yeah, and just the fact that the episodes are rated so highly, you got to imagine people are just being like, "Will Smith sucks."
Yeah.
0 stars for the series as a whole, and then the people who are actually watching it are like rating the episodes.
Yeah. Hey, they're great. I don't care that he slapped that man.
So, it's kind of funny because it's similar on Rotten Tomatoes, where the critics rating right now is 100%, but the
Sheesh.
people's rating is like 68.
Yeah, that's the bombing.
Yeah. All right. Pull the poll on Disney, Hulu, National Geographic, all those things.
Yeah.
Um, my recommendation is reading.
Boo.
My partner is a voracious reader. She loves to read. And I said this year that I would one of the ways I would support her in her reading hobby is that I would read more this year as well. So
Oh,
I set a very modest goal of 12 books this year. Just a book a month.
12
I've actually
books
already
in
read
a
3.
year.
Yeah, I've already read 3 actually in January. So this has actually cut really hard into my video game playing time. But I've already read
Sheesh.
3. Keep in mind, she read last year, I think like 100. So
I
she's
should
a
ask
very
my wife.
yeah, she reads like 5 or 6 books a month. It's insane to me. But you know, there's something about reading that especially when we talk about games so much and like creating a sense of place and telling a story and all these things, books can just do a really good job of that. So,
Yes.
um, if even if it's not like, you know, there's a lot of people out there who are like, oh, if you're not reading, you know, 52 books a year, it's not even worth trying. No, just read a little bit, just even a book a month.
Yeah.
Um, really highly encourage it. Reading is one of those things that works your brain in the way nothing else can. And can help I mean, research shows it can help stave off a lot of cognitive issues later in life if you read actively now. So pick up some reading, do a little reading. It's good for you. Josh, what do you say we wrap this show up?
Sure. I should read too. My wife reads a lot, and I don't.
Yeah.
I haven't read. Well, I do, but I haven't read
I mean,
in a bit.
It's something like 70 some percent of like people who consider themselves readers are women. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I guess you know what, we gotta introduce them to the beautiful art form known as video games,
Well, they might do
where
that
they
too,
do
but they
the
just
reading
are more
for
likely to
you.
consider themselves readers.
I asked my wife if I said, "How many books did you read last year? Do you keep count?" And the answer I got was yes. So I don't, I don't know if I'll get an answer for you. Oh, okay, yeah, she's not your partner's quantity, but she read 21 books last year.
That's great.
11,000 pages. That's a lot
Yeah,
of
that's
pages.
awesome.
Well, we'll see. I'm not gonna make any promises, but maybe I'll take up your advice on the post game. I got some books I need to read, so
Yeah.
maybe I'll do that. But anyways, thank you for joining us, everyone. As a reminder, I'm gonna read this because it's a script. And you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/boardwithvg, on Instagram at boardwithvg, and via email at boardwithvg@gmail.com. Whatever podcast service you're listening to us on, we encourage you to give us a 5-star rating, as it helps other people discover our podcast. So maybe you'll go search board games and podcasts, and maybe we'll finally show up on Spotify, but probably not. You can find me on all the things at Why So Serious. That's SIRRIUS. And you can find Kyle where?
So you can find me on Instagram, PlayStation Network, Xbox Live, Board Game Geek, all at Psychocross, CYCOCROSS. Our show release schedule for the next month is going to be weird because I'm gone a lot in February. So we'll be back at some point, but just know that after February, things will get a little more consistent, and we're shooting for roughly twice a month as we move forward. But as always, if you have suggestions for future topics, be sure to reach out to us on the social media, because we want to talk about what you want to hear about. And remember, everyone, whether it be board games or video games, never stop gaming.